Last month, a series of unusual earthquakes occurred in many areas that are not part of the seismic belt. Some areas recorded repeated mild tremors at the same time each day, while geological agencies reassured that nothing was out of the ordinary. Some independent scientists began to question, is this just normal geological activity, or is there something going on that we don't know yet? Suspicious data from earthquakes show that geological activity is very unusual. In March 2023, a magnitude 4.7 earthquake shook the Nordhausen region, central Germany, an area in the continental zone that is stable, not on active tectonic plates or major faults. This surprised the geologists because earthquakes of magnitude above 3.5 are extremely rare here. At the same time, seismic sensor networks in the Alps, Switzerland, the Pyrenees, Spain, and the Masovia Plain, Poland, recorded a series of low-frequency vibrations, 2 to 5 Hz, repeated regularly every 6 to 8 minutes, lasting nearly 72 hours. Different from conventional seismic noise caused by trucks, machinery, these signals have a perfect sinusoidal waveform, suggesting a fixed and intentional source of energy generation. The European Institute of Geophysical Sciences, EIGS, team analyzed the data and published a preliminary report, calling the phenomenon artificial pattern seismicity. According to them, the origin may come from deep geothermal projects, 5 to 7 kilometer drilling operations to harness geothermal energy can inadvertently trigger underground faults. In 2017, the Staufen project, Germany, caused a series of cracks in the ground due to high-pressure water pumps. Testing low-frequency energy technology, some military or private laboratories may be testing an improved HARP device, which uses high-frequency radio waves to interact with the ionosphere, which generates a pulse of energy that resonates with the Earth's crust. Underground covert operation. A bolder theory is that this is a signal from a large-scale underground facility, such as a nuclear storage center, a particle accelerator, or even a hyperloop system under construction. Dr. Lena Weber, EIGS, said, "The regular and synchronized vibrations on a large scale show that this is not an ordinary geotechnical accident. The frequency of 2 coincides with the wave range caused by large industrial blowers or underground power generation turbines, but the intensity is hundreds of times stronger." Public opinion has questioned the Earth Battery Project, an idea to store renewable energy by compressing gas into underground caves, which was once proposed in the Brandenburg region, Germany. However, the German government denies any contact. According to the analysis of skeptical scientists, Dr. Maria Keller from the European Institute of Geophysics, EIGS, analyzed, "These oscillation chains have suspiciously uniform amplitudes. In nature, earthquakes are born from the release of fracture stress, which creates a chaotic signal with many superimposed frequencies. Here, we see a pattern that repeats itself, as if someone is turning a giant underground machine on or off." Professor Arvind Patel, University of Tokyo, offers a deeper perspective. These low-frequency, continuous vibrations are suitable for the operation of geomechanical resonance equipment, technology that uses vibration waves to explore or exploit resources. For example, hydraulic vibrators, vibroseis, in oil and gas exploration can produce a range of 500 Hz, but the scale of this event is hundreds of times larger. It is highly likely that this is a test of unannounced vibration mining technology, or a project to store stratigraphic energy by pumping compressed air into underground cavities. A bold hypothesis has been put forward by EIGS experts. This could be a test of a low-frequency seismic weapon, a technology that is thought to be capable of causing artificial earthquakes by triggering faults through energy resonance. Leaked documents from the HARP project in the 1990s mention the use of electromagnetic waves interacting with the ionosphere to create geological impulses, but there is no actual evidence. In addition, researchers are also considering the possibility of being involved in enhanced geothermal systems, EGS, a technique that pumps high-pressure liquids into the ground to create cracks and trap heat. In 2022, Germany invested 500 million euros in EGS for the clean energy transition. But these projects are often controversial because of the risk of triggering earthquakes. Although the cause is unknown, this event raises concerns about a double disaster. Constant man-made vibrations can weaken the bedrock structure, triggering a chain reaction from millions of years of hibernation faults. The European Commission for Geological Safety, EGSC, has called for an international investigation and called for transparency of all large-scale geotechnical activities. The story is stirred up again when the data from satellites and images shows that there are many suspicious things. Copernicus satellite data from the European Space Agency, ESA, has exposed a shocking layer of information. Within 48 hours before and after the Nordhausen earthquake, many areas in central Germany experienced microsurface deformation, with amplitudes of up to 3 to 5 centimeters detected through INSAR, interference synthetic aperture radar technology. In particular, the Harz Mountains region, which was once a uranium mine during the Cold War, recorded a phenomenon of swelling and deflating, like a balloon being inflated, although no mining activity was reported. The thermal infrared sensor on the Sentinel-3 satellite further thickens the suspicion. On the night of March 12th, an abnormal temperature hotspot, 120 degrees, suddenly appeared near the town of Sondershausen, which lasted for 17 minutes before turning off. This location coincided with the epicenter of the 4.7 magnitude earthquake that occurred 6 hours later. Dr. Klaus Werner, a remote sensing expert at ESA, said, "The energy emitted from the hotspot is equivalent to an explosion of 500 tons of TNT, but there is no trace of fire or smoke on the ground. This is only possible if the source is at least 2 kilometers underground. The secret underground tunnel hypothesis is placed on the scales." In 2022, a leaked report from the German Defense Ministry revealed plans to build a 1.5-kilometer deep strategic warehouse capable of withstanding a nuclear attack under the Harz Mountains. The project, dubbed Labyrinth 23, was suspended due to concerns about geological impacts, but recent satellite images showed heavy equipment shipments to the area. Dr. Elena Müller, of Berlin Institute of Geodynamics, warned, "Deep tunneling combined with high-capacity cooling systems can create sudden thermal shocks in the ground, causing fractures in the bedrock. Infrared hotspots can be traces of a plasma explosion when groundwater comes into contact with a high heat device." However, the German Ministry of Economy and Energy denied any connection, insisting that the seismic oscillations were a rare natural phenomenon. However, the international scientific community is looking forward to the GeoReactor project, a bold experiment by Deep Earth Dynamics, Switzerland, which uses high-energy lasers to heat deep granite, generating steam for power generation. An internal document in 2021 once mentioned the risk of triggering a level 5 earthquake if temperature control fails. The big question remains unanswered. Small earthquakes are timed, but not accompanied by sound or surface damage, which goes against conventional knowledge of seismology. Many of the seismic sites coincide with no-fly zones or near military installations. Independent investigators are calling for the transparency of raw seismic data, but for now, some of the seismic wave recording files have been hidden or not made public. Some suspect that this is a test of seismic technology as a seismic weapon, similar to what was once rumored with HARP. There is a theory that this is ultra-deep drilling by resource mining corporations, using ultrasonic vibrations to break rock structures. There is a more mysterious theory the operation of a secret underground civilization. But there is no clear evidence. Maybe it's all just a coincidence. Maybe skeptical scientists are drawing more snakes. But it's also possible that something big is happening underground that we don't know yet. And the question is, who do you trust? Official data? Or are the signs gradually emerging? What you just watched may just be the tip of the iceberg. There are still too many unanswered questions, and we're just beginning to piece together the first pieces. If you feel like the world isn't as simple as it sounds, if you believe that science shouldn't stop at safe things, subscribe to the channel to join me in delving deeper into mysterious phenomena, forgotten theories, and facts that may be being hidden. Ring the bell so you don't miss any new videos.